everyone, welcome back to the Tiger Den. I hope you guys are all doing well. I know I haven't streamed in like 3 weeks. It's been busy as hell. I've been setting up workshops and I didn't go to the farmer's market the last 2 days, but I started a gym and it's just, I've been so busy. A lot of stress, a lot of drama, none of which you guys really care about, but it's been there. So today I'm not painting, because I want to work on my custom watercolor palette. If you guys remember, it is this one in the little white cloth. If I can get it out of the cloth. And a lot of this is custom watercolor, except for my Winsor & Newton paints at the top, the solid ones. Bottom, I guess, in this case. These solid ones are Winsor & Newton. The flesh and the pink were custom by me, but all of these were made with basically just mica powder and some gum arabic and a little bit of glycerin. So I want to fill in this bottom or top pan. I do have enough to do a red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple glitter set. I do have the brown with the coffee. I have a black glitter, and I have kind of a goldy glitter on 2 places. I don't know if I'm going to keep using this one because this one just isn't doing that great. But I do have these on here. I forgot I have brushes in here, so I'm going to actually swatch as we go. Plus, with making these glitter paints, I also have to be careful because I don't have a lot of half pans left. So depending on how much of it I make, I may not have enough to put it in a pan. I did make some over the weekend, some silk blue and dark orange, which is called Neg Carrot, which are actually already in the palette. I did the smaller versions of each pan because as they dry, they shrink. So I did the smaller version just that way I had it in my pan, and as it dries up and I use it, which that smaller version should be used up faster than the bigger version, I can take these half pans and reuse them for other colors. So we are going to work on that. I'm going to put my swatch sheets, which this one needs updated now. Put my swatch sheets in here and just not update the one until I finish with the glitters. So the first glitter we're going to make is the red. So we're going to be using bright red mica powder and ruby glitter. As you guys can see, it's very sparkly. So yeah, that's all I got to say. I do apologize again for not streaming in a hot minute. It's been a lot. It's been a whole lot. I technically have other things I need to do right now. Like I got a ceramic from my mom's house that I haven't been able to paint yet. And I've been researching and trying to find a paint place, which I might have, depending on, they have to look at it first to make sure it's, something that won't crack if they fire it. But it is something that I am looking at painting, and I've been doing all the research, and that's what I need to work on. Is I need to plan how I'm going to paint it and test and see it, or take it in and see if it's even viable to be painted or fired. So there's that. Now I'm trying to be careful and not do a ton of red because I don't want to use up all these half pans just on red, so I can do the orange, yellow, green, blue, and glitter. So I did 2 scoops of mica powder. And I'm going to start, I haven't even opened this glitter. I'm going to start with 1 scoop of glitter. I may add more as I'm mixing. But we're going to see how 1 scoop turns out. And I know my husband's going to love me for messing with glitter because that's totally not going to get everywhere. Today's stream is not going to be super long because, like I said, in the Discord, if you guys are part of the Discord, I am trying to get back into the gym. Like I just said that I was trying. I'm gonna do 2 scoops because this is a small one. I am trying to get back into the gym, which I plan on going tonight to do just a basic workout instead of like a full class. Tomorrow morning I have a full class, and then Thursday morning I have a full class, and then Friday I tend to go after work. I am planning on going today because I skipped last Thursday. Last Thursday was just rough. It was a fight with my kids, a fight with tension in my body, and I couldn't deal. I really couldn't deal. So I skipped last Thursday, and now I am trying to make up for it this week. And I know you don't normally make up for days when you exercise and you miss a day. That's just what I'm doing because I want to, basically. All right, so now for the gum arabic. This gum arabic is a custom one I made. It's no longer the Winsor & Newton. I got some gum arabic powder, mixed it with some distilled water, and now I have my own gum arabic that is a lot cheaper than the Winsor & Newton, but it has a different consistency than Winsor & Newton. It collapses a lot more, and then it, what's the word I'm looking for? It collapses a lot more, and then it is a little bit more runny and needs a little bit more fluid than the Winsor & Newton. So I'm going to add 5 drops of glycerin. I'm at 6 this time because it is a bit bigger. And then now we just mix it like I showed you guys before. So you just kind of fold it in, bring it back, fold it in. Just kind of go back and forth with that fluid and that powder and mix it together until you get a nice paint consistency, which the paint consistency can be hard to find. It's one of those, as you get used to it, it starts to become a natural feeling of what it needs to feel like. Yeah, this one's going to need a lot more gum arabic. But you do get used to the feeling and it starts to, you kind of understand it. Yeah, I need a lot more fluid. It's getting most of it, of the dry in, but it's not being a paint consistency. It's really thick, as you can see. And we want it to be kind of looser, which does also lead to more of the collapsing that's going on that you guys see in the dry ones on that left there. I guess, yeah, it is left for you guys. On the left there. But at the same time, I don't want it too thick. So just finding that right consistency can be hard. I'm going to do about 2 more spoonfuls. Which should be enough. And I think I am going to add more glitter to it because I'm not seeing any of the glitter in here. I'm tapping off the palette knife because I'm trying to get it to actually have the paint in the middle and not scrape it all over the edges. I'm trying to keep that paint in that middle there. Yeah, I'm not seeing any of that glitter that I just added in there. So let's go ahead. We're going to take and do some more scoops of glitter. Do 2 more scoops and we'll see how that looks here. The one thing with mica powder is it does tend to overpower the glitter. But you also have to be careful with how much glitter you add because you may have to add more gum arabic from using it. Which again, I'm not seeing much of that glitter, so I'm probably going to have to do a few more scoops. I did do one glitter, that black glitter, and then the Christmas glitter, where it took almost half the bottle to make the glitter. So hopefully it doesn't take half the bottle for this one. I'll do 3 scoops this time. No, I'm going to do 4. I really want it to be glittery. Which it looks like it's starting to seize up into a much thicker paint. So I'm going to have to add more gum arabic. But yeah, that mica powder just completely overtook that glitter. Now when we, it's not spreading out very nicely, so let's add some more gum arabic. And this is just the game of back and forth until you get the paint consistency that you like with the items that you are mixing together. The one catch is the more of the items you add, the more you're gonna make. Okay, do I see that glitter in there? Ever so slightly. So I think a few more scoops in here and we'll get that nice glitter shine. Like I said, I can see it, but it's very subtle and I want it like in your face. Which may be difficult to get a nice loose in your face, but we're going to try. So I think 2 more scoops and we should be good. Put that down there. We just want this glitter to be really, really part of the mica powder. So what I'm going to do for the next colors, the orange, yellow, green, and purple ones, is I'm going to start with the glitter and then add a touch of mica powder into it and do the opposite of what I did with this red. That way it's more sparkle than anything else in there. Now I'm seeing those sparkles. They're nice and pretty. Now, if you guys remember from the last time I made watercolor paint, I did the customs recently, so it's not like the custom mixes where I can just go straight into putting it in a pan. I do have to mull it. And what mulling means is it goes in and takes all the big chunks and just makes them small. So mainly in this one, it'd be like the glitter just gets shrank. So I'm trying to pull all this in so that way I have more space to mull. Okay, put that up there. And then we just kind of rub this around in circles, figure eights, whatever you need to do to get a nice small consistency in that pigment. And you always want to mull against glass because that is the easiest way to get a nice smooth movement. Unfortunately, this glass has some scratches on it, which means it's going to move as I mull it. So, you know, just do what we can. There's a lot of paint here, so I'm probably going to end up using a lot of half pans. Again, I was trying to avoid making a lot of it, but I had to keep going back between the glitter and the gum arabic, which ends up making the amount much, much more than you would like. And there's a lot of glitter attached to this muller. So I think we got the glitter down. I am excited to try and paint with this because I am slowly getting better at making a nice shiny color. I'm trying to get the shine that Lizzie Linka, if you've ever seen or heard of that brand. If you are into anything art related, I guarantee you this has popped up, especially if it's watercolor mains. It's a super glittery, shiny brand. And I so badly want to buy some of their stuff. But unfortunately, it's like $200 for a pan. You can get one for like $40. Which I think is insane, but some people pay it. I mean, if the paint's good, why not spend a little extra on it? I just can't afford that right now. Okay, I have a backup palette knife. Normally you don't need a backup palette knife, but I just have it to kind of scrape these extra off. That doesn't want to come off. Because the more you have on your palette knife, the harder it is to scrape up and not leave most of the paint behind. Now, between colors, I will have to get up and go wash the palettes and the palette knives and the muller and everything like that, because if you don't wash in between, your colors will get affected by each other. So, like, if I went straight to orange after doing this red would be picked up, and it'd be a reddish orange instead of a straight orange. Okay, I think that's good. That's going to be what I get out of it. So now, oh, I forgot to write on these. So I like writing C for custom and then what goes into it. So in this case, it's red and ruby. And I'm going to guesstimate this is about 5 pans worth, maybe more. So I'm going to write it on 5 pans. So that way I don't have to stop in between each pan. I probably should start with that and do the writing immediately instead of just waiting. And I don't know if I'm going to write on all of them forever, just because I'm going to be making so many different colors that I don't want to have permanent mixtures written on the pieces. It helps you remember what's what, but at the same time, I don't know. It seems like you're restricting what that pan can be. Okay, so I did 5 of them. So I dropped my cap. And now we're going to just start filling in the half pan. So I like scraping the bottom, then flipping it over and scraping the top, which I am seeing a lot of that glitter in there, which is really, really nice. If I don't get any on the bottom, I don't worry about scraping the bottom, but a lot of times, like right there, it tends to get the bottom. Okay. And then this little tray is my watercolor drying tray. It gives me something to put the watercolor on that I can move off my desk without spilling the watercolor. Because that glitter is a little chunky, it's fine size glitter, which means it's supposed to be on the smaller side. But because that glitter is a little chunky, that's part of why we're also getting more pans. Because I had to go back and forth with it, which added more product, which caused it to have more. But also because that glitter takes up more space. also causes it to have more. I may have more than 5 pans here. I may have a lot more than 5 pans. I might not be able to do the rainbow because I'm out of half pans. Yeah, I'm going to have to do at least 2 more pans or so. Even kind of speed filling this at a... And I do try and dome it on the top. I know that's hard to see from a straight down angle, but I try to dome it so that way when it collapses, it doesn't collapse as far. The other way you can stop collapsing from occurring is you can hit the pans on the table just to get out the air bubbles, which should stop it from collapsing as far. It'll still collapse, just not as much. Okay, yeah, I have 6 pans of this. Almost, hang on. I might be able to... I can't fill up all of that, but yeah, I have 6 pans of this. My son is being super, super sweet and nice, and he's going to make me a drying rack for my watercolor. So it'll be like right here, and I can just slide them in and out as I'm making them, which will be very, very nice. But for now, I'm just using this pan, which works just as fine. I just picked it up from the dollar store. You don't need anything super fancy, just something that can help you balance it, basically. Think like a waitress, what are they called? Oh, God. The big circle things that the waitresses carry, which are escaping my mind right now. Okay, I don't think there's enough on here because most of this is glitter thickness. That's worth trying to fight this. But there we go. We tried. So I made 6 pans with that much. And now I gotta go wash all my stuff. So that way I can... do the next color. I may have to make more gum Arabic, so you guys will be seeing that today. Yeah, so I'm gonna just take this to the bathroom. Oh, good afternoon, Matt. Thank you so much for the resub at tier 1. I really appreciate it, and congrats on your first. Just going to the bathroom to clean off my palette stuff. Eventually, I'll have the sink in the studio available to wash things, but we gotta reline the pipes. I don't know if you guys remember a few months ago, we were having issues with it draining. So I'd use it, and then it wouldn't drain for a week. Yeah, that's still an issue. And I think the plumber said it's going to cost about $400 to $500 to fix, which isn't a bad price, but at the same time, yeah, that's a lot. I am probably going to start... I saw the Legend of Zelda remake announcement, and I'm probably going to save up for that and for the pipe to be updated and ran. So that way my husband doesn't have to worry about all those bills on his own. I have been getting into doing watercolor classes locally by me. So if you guys are interested in learning anything local watercolor-wise, I'd be happy to teach you guys. We are having fun classes. This next class I'm going to be hosting is the flowers class, where you learn all the different ways to do watercolor flowers. It'll be a ton of fun, and I really hope I can get some people to go. I know most of you here on my stream are like on the other side of the planet. Okay, not really that bad. You're on the other side of the country. So you can't join the watercolor classes, but it would be fun. It'd be a lot of fun if you could. All right, almost done cleaning all of my tools. But yes, you gotta remember when watercolor paint making that you wash your tools in between, because if you don't, those colors will mix, and that you do not want. I don't want to make a purple while trying to make a blue, if that makes sense. Okay, I think it's dry enough now. I'm just going to leave that dryer rag in here. Leave the light on because I'm going to be in and out a lot. All right, so we did the red. Now we're going to go on to, I think glitter-wise, because I don't know how many pans I have. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10... 11. So I have 11. So I'm definitely going to have to be a lot more stingy and not add as much paint and watercolor and gum Arabic and all that good stuff. So I'm going to start with the glitter, do 4 scoops of glitter, 1 scoop of mica powder and see if that's enough to get a small, like only like 2 or 3 pans instead of 6. First things first, I do need to find the glitter that I want for each color. Unfortunately, this does not, repeat, does not have the colors on the side, so I kind of got to pull and guess. All right, so let's start with orange because I love orange. That's black, royal blue. No, I'll just pull out the colors that I need. It's a grass green. That's regular green. Dodger blue. I think royal blue is going to be nicer. Christmas gold. Lavender. Red violet, I don't need. Iron gray, I don't need. Peacock blue, I don't need. Coffee. Ruby. Dark pink. Okay, so there is no orange. I could do the Christmas gold for the orange, but I already have a pan in there, so I'm not going to do the Christmas gold. I have 2 other colors that I could do then. So, put the red back in here. So let's look at this. Let's do some planning here. How did the first class go? Oh, the first class went really, really good. Everyone enjoyed it, got some compliments. The biggest thing that I had when it came back was there's too much talking, and then I didn't explain enough how the different techniques relate to each other. So those were the big complaints back. Nothing major, obviously. So I have my iridescent black and white up there. I have 2 purples, 3 blues, 2 greens, 1 yellow, 2 oranges, and 1 red. I might want to do another red for the down here part because I have that 1 pan there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 2 to go up here. I think I'll do a. Do I do a silver? I kind of want to do a silver because I don't have a silver. Oh, you know what? That's what I need. A silver up here. I'll do a regular mica silver and I will do a glitter silver. I will do that. That'll work. So we got our plan. So for the mica silver, I don't have a straight mica powder that is silver, so I'm actually going to have to mix the white with the black. And that one I will save for the last because I don't have to clean between the mica and the glitter added. So I'm not going to have to worry about that. So next up, since we don't have orange, is yellow gold, which I think, yep, that's a gold yellow. Is that the only yellow I have? No, I also have peak yellow. So let's see here. Peak yellow will definitely shine, or will give it a little bit more contrast to the gold, but the gold yellow, it'll kind of fit a little better. So which one do I want to do? Let's go with the gold yellow. Okay, so now if you remember, we're going to flip which one goes first. So we're going to start. I see water still. There's water on this glass still. There we go. Okay, now it's a little cleaner. So we're going to start with the glitter, do about 3-4 scoops of glitter, and then do 1 or 2 scoops of mica powder. Because again, we don't want to do that 6 pan because I don't have enough to do 6 pans for every single color. I may have to buy more half pans, especially if I'm going to get into watercolor making a lot and, you know, try and sell the watercolor. I need more pans. Oh, okay. I don't want to hydrate. I don't want to. I will hydrate with some water from my water bottle. I also have an energy boost smoothie right here. I plan on going to the gym later. And in order to have energy to go to the gym and fight that and do all that good stuff, I want to make sure that I have energy for it. So I got an energy boost smoothie. Don't ask me if it actually works. Okay. No extra smoothie. Okay. So we're going to start with a nice amount of glitter. And like I said, we're going to do about 4 scoops of glitter. We're going to dome it here in the middle. Now, the reason I add mica powder to my glitter stuff is because of the fact when I tried a straight glitter, yes, it worked, but the glitter didn't have anything in between the glitter pieces, which led to a very inconsistent paint job. So I'm trying to keep it consistent. So we're going to stick that in there. Then we're going to take a scoop, because this is a much bigger spoon, a scoop of the gold yellow. Okay, this is too much of a scoop. Come on. Knock off a bit. Okay. That should be enough for our in-between color between the glitter. Now we want to add our gum arabic, which I think after this one I'm going to have to make more gum arabic with how much the last one used. That's part of why I'm trying to make a little mound all the way to the glass, because I want to have enough gum arabic to really go in there. I'm going to start with adding the glycerin. And I hope the gym is going well for you, Sheriff. It is, Sheriff. When he did the trainer, like what to do on a program for your set stuff, he showed his noobness to a gym. But I just had mine today, which was the appointment, which is why this was late. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, you know what? You actually have some knowledge." I was like, "Yes, I'm good. I just need to know what machines and how to use some of them properly." So that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to use up the last of this gum arabic because there's not much left in there. And I think I'm going to end up having to make more because of how little was in there. But we will see. We will see how it goes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start mixing. Bringing that fluid in. Making sure it's covering all the dry pieces. Which this one is definitely a lot more glittery than the last one, so that's good. So it is about 4 scoops of glitter, about 1 scoop of the mica powder. It makes a nice glitter shine. Now, whether or not this will paint nicely is another question. At the end, I will do swatches of all the paint we made. I suppose I could do swatches now as we make it. Just kind of folding it in. Trying to pull in that outer stuff. This definitely looks a lot better than the last one. It's also a lot thinner. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mull it because we don't need to do any adjustments to the glitter, the gum arabic, or anything like that. I think I had the perfect amount of gum arabic for this. But yeah, I did a second class for the basics, and that was really nice. That also went really well. I haven't heard any feedback really on it other than the students at the time who said it was really good and they learned quite a bit. I haven't heard any other feedback than that. So I'm hoping it went really, really well, that none of them had any complaints. But it was a ton of fun, and I think they're ready, at least the few that have gone to the class, I think they're ready for the flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and swap the class to flowers and just kind of do a rotate throughout the year. Have a fall theme for like pumpkins or something for fall. Maybe have easy Christmas trees or like a forest for winter time. And then move on from there each time. Maybe do a rotate like at the beginning of like New Year resolutions where people are trying to learn to paint. I'll do the beginner techniques again and just kind of, I don't know what to do for springtime. Maybe the flowers will be springtime, and summer I'll figure out something else for. I do also want to do some classes where it's like actual specific subjects. Like I made this jellyfish painting that I shared on, I think I shared it on Discord, but I also I definitely shared it on Facebook and Instagram, that I really want to teach people how to make. This looks like it might be about 3 pans worth. Maybe 4. So I'm going to start with 3 and then we're going to see how we do. This one I'm not going to put the plus sign on here because of the fact that both of them said gold. So I'm just going to call it gold yellow. I'm gonna start with 3 and see how it goes. Just because I don't have a lot of these half pans, like I said. So I'm trying to keep it down, but I might not be able to get through all the colors today. Just based on the volume of how much I'm making. I know I said this on Discord, but some of you probably missed it. I was turned on, thank you Midnight Rider Zombie, to a new kind of category for painters that has been doing really well on eBay called ACEOs. I forget what each letter stands for, but essentially it's a trading card, but with specific artwork. So like I would make a Pokemon card, but it would be a jellyfish for the whole piece. And that is apparently really popular. You can sell them for about $2 each. I just got 120 for, I think it was like $7 of the paper. So if I sell them for $2 each, that's 240 when the product was only 7, which is really, really nice. I also grabbed some plastic sleeves, that's what I'm looking for, to help protect them. And then I'm just going to use like a typical letter and a postage stamp in order to send these places. And yes, it is awesome to hear. It's why I've been so busy and not able to stream is I can't keep up with all the different aspects of art that I'm doing. However, when I go to do these ACEOs, I plan on doing them on stream. We'll probably knock out like 5 to 10 at a time, just depending on how my watercolor wants to dry. So that'll be really, really fun. So you guys can see what's going up on eBay to see if you want to purchase it or not. And if we're local, we can do a pickup instead of a ship. Which I doubt anyone buying these will be local, but you know what? We'll see. Okay. So yeah, I did about 3 pans of the gold yellow, which is really, really good. The next colors are going to mix with the gold in a way that we don't want. So I'm going to go wash everything. That doesn't need wash this time. That needs washed. This can go in here and over here. I've completely mixed up my glitter, but that's fine. Who cares? All right, so I'm going to keep the mic on just like I did last time, but I'm going to go clean this off. And then I will also have to make more gum arabic, so I'm going to do that next. I'm going to do the gum arabic powder with distilled water. That is the key, is distilled water, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And I tend to use this and then that to mix. Or at least I shouldn't say tend to. I've made it once. All right, washing off the stuff again. It's mainly the palette knife and the molar that tend to, and the plate itself, that tend to do the mixing. So the spoons technically don't need to be washed as often when mixing paint, but I do it anyway just to make sure there's absolutely no transfer. Now if I start getting too low, since I had 3, I'm going to count them again, and I'm going to see how many colors I can do with the 3, because I can hold off on some of these glitter colors, but I really, really need a silver in my package of some kind, even if it's just mica. So I am going to focus the silver as a guaranteed. If I could make it small enough where I just do 1 pan, I'm totally good. Oh wait, I have the pans in the watercolor set itself. Hello, I might be able to make enough for all of them. How did I forget about the pans inside as well? Probably because I didn't think of them. I forgot they were a thing. Okay, so that's clean. Let's pull out the pans from the kit itself. That way I can make sure that I have enough to run everything. If I can do it like I did the glitter where it's 3, there's 1 color, 2 colors. And let's see how many I can snag out of this one. So to change your pans, you just pull up on these sides, which is really hard to do when you're holding it up. So you just pull on these sides. It's a little stuck because the paint keeps gluing it down. Oh, come on. Thank you. You just came out for me the other day. It's like it can't. It's getting stuck because of the pans. Why are you so stuck? Just come out. Thank you. Okay. So if I do the same amount I just did now, there is... Come on. Come out. This just really wants to give me problems today. There's 2 colors. Does not like me. If I can manage to make less, so do like a half scoop of mica powder and 2 scoops of the glitter, I should be able to get less and then be able to do it. Why won't this come out? There we go. So there's 3 colors. Four colors. Yeah, I should have enough to do all of them. Come out. 5 colors, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I have 1 left over. Which I didn't think about what color I wanted to add on this bottom one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 up there. I could put the silver here, which means I have 1 extra color for the gold. Why is there hair in this one? Come on. Which means I have 1 extra one from up top, but I don't know what I'm going to do for that, if I'm just going to do a color I already have, or however, we'll figure that out in a minute. Put those a little closer together. Put that right there. All right, we have enough, as long as I keep to the correct, proper proportions. So now I'm going to mix the gum Arabic. We have a 1-pan leeway here. So for the gum Arabic, it comes with a spoon, but I don't use that because I want to make sure it's a little bit more accurate measurement. So I take my tablespoon and kind of get it a little domed and then knock off the sides. That way it's a little flatter. I'm going to do 2 scoops this time. I only did 1 last time and made quite a bit. And it can last 1 to 3 months in a refrigerator, which I have a mini fridge where I store it. Oh, I need that. Why did I put that in there? So that does help as well. So I have time to get more half pans so I can make more paint, basically. And then distilled water. This is the tricky part. This one I may not be able to do in Insight because it's a gallon jug and I don't want to spill it, but we're going to try. So it does have to be distilled water with paint because of the fact that it is the impurities in tap water can cause a little bit of a problem. Oh, I need the water jug. Yep. And then I don't worry about washing the gum Arabic spoon. I let it air dry because it literally just used a ton of water to clean it off. A little bit of powder here and there, but I just let it air dry. If I feel like it's too dirty, then yes, I will wash it, as it's got powder everywhere. All right, normally I would use this pink spoon, but I've already got this spoon dirty, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix it with this. The easiest way to mix gum Arabic with water is to actually have the water be warm. You don't have to have it boiling hot, but have it warm. I don't like doing that, or one, because I don't have a way to heat it upstairs. And 2, because of the fact that heating it up, you can get impurities from like the kettle or the pot or whatever you use to heat it up, which then defeats the purpose of it being distilled water. So right now I'm just kind of taking all these chunks and like squishing them against the side to make them a little bit less pasty. I'm going to take this and get that off of there. Kind of connecting with the grooves of my little teaspoon. Just kind of squishing it in, mixing it up. And stirring it. It is bubbly. It wasn't bubbly last time. So I don't know if I made this 100% correctly, but we'll see. We got this. I hope the bubbles aren't a big deal. It may be one of those you gotta tap your pan an extra few times. You know, that stuff I don't do. I do see that my closed captioning is working nicely. I do appreciate that to actually work properly. I added that for those who are not able to hear all the way without, words at the bottom. Haha, yeah, that's me. So that way you guys can, or even can't hear at all. That way you guys can still enjoy the show without having to worry about everything else. Okay, I forgot to get the mica powder out for these. So, not magic violet. That's a pure blue. Do I have a royal blue? Nope, that's magic violet. We're just gonna go this way. I have a cobalt blue, which will work nicely for royal blue. And then this is just green. Looks like I have 2 greens, a moss green and a grass green. So we're going to go with grass green because the moss green is, well, actually. Do I want it bright or do I want it dark, basically? I think I want it bright. And then I have a lavender, which I think will go best with the violet. It's a little bit lighter and more pink of a color, but that's fine because we're mostly doing the glitter with a touch of color to kind of get that in between. And then I have the mica powder for the iron gray, and that should be all the colors I have. And I know I haven't swatched yet. We'll swatch at the end when we get through there. So let's go ahead. I really want to do that silver. Let's do that silver first. I'm going to start with the mica powder because I do want to have a straight mica powder, not glitter silver. So I'm going to start with some white, about 2 scoops of white. And this is where I should rinse off my spoon before going in, but I'm going to take a scoop of black. Well, just a tiny touch of black. And then I'm going to try mixing these before adding any of the gum arabic or anything like that, to try and create a nice silver color here. Which is working. It's actually creating a very nice silver. Now, it's not a perfect silver because I didn't mix it that well. But as we mix the gum arabic and the glycerin into it, it should create a much more solidified color between the two, because it should liquefy the mica powder just a touch, which will turn it into a nicer silver. But the 2-to-1 ratio, well, 2 to like a quarter is a good ratio. We're going to put our little mound in here. Remember, we're not starting with the glitter because it's easier to add and remake this with the glitter than it is to try and make it without glitter after doing glitter. Okay, so we're going to put that up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then some gum arabic. This one's a little bit more yellow than the last one. I think it's because the last one settled a bit and it wasn't fresh, where this one's fresh. Do 1 more scoop. Okay. So the last one was a little bit more clear, but this one is a little bit more, I don't know. It's just yellower. There we go. But yes, that mixing right here is making a nice silver color, which is what we were looking for. May need a touch more gum arabic because it's still sitting on the thick side. Not a lot. It's not as thick as it looks. Adding too much gum arabic will make it take up more pans as well, so I'm trying to avoid that. The less pans I use, the more colors I can make later. Essentially. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a glitter orange just so I can make it an orange watercolor of glitter. Okay, I think I'm going to do half a scoop more gum arabic because that is nice, but I want it just a touch more. Okay, there we go. That is nice and fluid. I am very pleased with that. I remember when I first started making watercolor paint, I couldn't get myself to make more than a pan, no matter how hard I tried. And now I'm just like, oh, I made it. Oh, now I've got 4 pans full. Other than the confidence of how to mix it, I don't know what else changed. I used the same teaspoons, the same 1-to-1 ratio type idea. And it still is just like, yep, I'm going to make more even though I don't intend to. Alright, so I'm seeing some chunks that I am grinding away here. That's mostly the mica powder that's trying to stay thick. Okay, I think I got those grounded out. So I should be good. Scrape off the bottom so I can have as much paint as possible. I know it's kind of squeaky, I apologize. And yes, I even go up on the edges just to try and, like I said, get as much of that paint as possible. Because gum arabic, while I found the cheaper option, is still not cheap. Because you gotta buy distilled water and the powder when you're making it yourself, or it's like $25 for a premix by Winsor & Newton, which is insane in my opinion. It does make quite a bit, but not enough to fill 50 pans. I will admit the Winsor & Newton consistency is a lot different than the one I'm making with the powder. A lot of the time with the Winsor & Newton, you don't have to add more fluid, where with the mica powder one that I do have to keep adding more fluid. And I don't know if that's just a too much gum arabic to water ratio, or if it's not enough gum arabic instead. I don't know. It's a ratio change than what I'm making, but the ratio I have currently works, so I don't want to change it. Okay. Oh, I need to do custom silver. I'm going to try 2 on this one because that is a fairly small amount. If I need to write a third one, I will. I'm hoping I can fill just 2 pans on this one. Let's just take a little scoop, let it drip down, and then wipe both sides of the palette knife. Now the silver is a bit on the darker side. That's okay. It just means I'd used a touch more black than I should have. But that is okay. Ow! Why are you hydrating me, Sheriff? I don't want to hydrate. Okay, I may have to do a third pan because this one's almost full. Well, maybe. No, I do not have to do a third pan. Look at that! I figured out how to do 2 pans. Now, this isn't going to stay long enough for the silver glitter. Because I'm going to end up mixing a lot of glitter. Alright, I shall hydrate as Sheriff requested with some water. Okay, now for the challenge. Make that small amount, but with glitter. So now I have 2 extra pans. In case one of them ends up a little bigger than I would like. Now I do have space in my palette for 1 more of a color. I don't know what color that's going to be yet. I haven't decided. I have a million freaking colors. I've got so many colors. I'm just looking at them all and it's like, what do I want? Maybe a rose red? Or a peak yellow. I might do a second yellow. Okay, I'm going to stab this with a pencil. Stab. Stab again. Let's make that hole a little bigger. This one didn't want to tear off for me. It was being mean. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 scoops of silver. Which is really pretty. It's got like the entire rainbow going on in it. I see some red, some blue, some green. It's a really pretty. And then I'm going to make a little mound here. And the reason why I'm only doing 2 scoops is because we're doing extra mica powder in comparison. So to make sure it isn't too weird or too runny or has too much at the end, I am waiting on the volume amount. So I'm going to do that much white. And the tiniest tiniest add of black. Shake it off so that way I get a little bit. That should be plenty. Okay. So hopefully this will be the right amounts, if you will, for getting that nice silver color again. But this time with glitter. Now showing with glitter. The glycerin. Now you can add honey to your watercolor paint. It helps keep it a little bit wetter. I always forget to grab the honey, so I end up not using honey. And I can't keep it up here because it'll crystallize and before I use all of it. Oh, this is getting a nice foam on top. Ooh, I don't know if that's good. One, two, three. If I need to add more, I can add more. We'll see how it goes. And because, again, we are using the same color mixture, that is why I didn't clean my glass between. But if I want to make another color, I do have to clean my glass in between. So this is a little bit on the dry side, so I am going to want to add more gum arabic. But it's not like super dry side, so I'm going to add just the tiniest amount. So like that much. Now the glitter is in there, but I'm not seeing a lot of it, so I may add just a like half scoop in more, which may dry out the mixture. If I need to add more gum arabic, I can. I just need to do my best to keep this under 3 pans. We're going to add just a little bit more glitter. Kind of spread it around here. Make sure all of it gets glitter. And I am not seeing any of that glitter again. Well, I'm seeing a little bit of it. See, the one problem with the gum arabic is with the glitter I've noticed is that it actually separates out the glitter particles quite a bit, so they're not as evident. Do another scoop of glitter. Full scoop this time. Full send! There we go. Okay, now that glitter is mixed in. It's looking good. It's not quite the glitter disaster that I would like, but it's working. You can see it at certain angles. Okay, so now we're going to go and mull it. And again, this is just to kind of grind up those bigger glitter particles, make it nice and smooth. You know, get a lot of the impurities out. If there are any chunks of like glitter or mica powder, this will get rid of those as well. Okay. Yes, I am definitely got glitter in there because this is a bit rough, and glitter does make the muller a little rougher. Scrape all this back into the middle. Which this looks like it's about 3 worth, so we're doing good on our restriction of how much paint can go on here. Okay, that might actually only be 2, so I'm going to write just 2 of them. I'm going to call it G silver, if I can actually write. I'm going to start with 2 of them. I think that'll be good. Okay. And Let's just fill her up. Ooh, that filled up quite a bit. Yeah, those glitter particles take up a lot of space. Okay. So that's silver glitter. Looks a little lighter than my normal silver, so... the mica powder silver. So I did use a lot less black in this ratio. Yes, I'm letting the palette knife drip before I take it up to the pan, because I don't want it dripping all over my fingers. Even though this is getting all over my fingers anyway, I'd like to reduce the ability or chances of that. Okay, so it is going to need a third pan. It's not going to fill the third pan completely, but it does need a third. Now watch this fill the pan completely. Okay, no, it did not fill the pan completely. I would have laughed if it did. Just kind of scraping off some of this extra on here. Make sure it's as clean as possible. It filled up about 2/3 of the pan, so that's not bad. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and clean off all my materials again. I know this is a lot of going back and forth with cleaning materials, making a color, cleaning materials, making a color. It can be frustrating, I get it. White goes there, white goes there. And we got 3 more to make, and then we'll probably be done with the stream. So like I said, I do have things, other things I gotta do, but I wanted to at least stream a little bit today. Making these colors can be pretty quick, I will admit that as well. I can do one in about 10 minutes or so, which isn't bad. I just don't have much of my other stuff up here to really work on anything. Most of my stuff is downstairs, kind of being dealt with. Okay, so that washed off nice and quick. I like when things wash quickly. I have glitter on my mixing palette though. That might not go away. We all know how glitter is. Once it's on something, it's on it permanently. Palette knife. Spoon and spoon. Alright, about 3 more trips and we will be done, which will be nice. Okay. Ow, I pinched my finger. It's 3:20. I didn't realize it's already 3:20. Wow. Did I not start till 2:30? Oh yeah, I guess I did, because my appointment was 12:30 to 1:30, yeah. Didn't get home till about 2. Okay, let's go with the blue next. Which I also haven't opened. Most of these glitters I haven't opened because I bought them specifically for, I don't remember what. I think it was for like resin printing or something. Whoa, okay. I don't know what just knocked that off. My palette just got knocked over. And I don't know why. Okay. Opening up the glitter, the glitter, the glitter. Alright, so we did about 3 scoops. It was 2 scoops for the gold, but I'm going to do about 3 scoops here. Because we did end up having to add more of that silver. And then we're going to make a little pile in the middle. Just like the other times, we're going to scoop this up so the wall can be a little higher. Set that off to the side and then do the mica powder, which was about 1 scoop of mica powder. That might be a little more than a scoop here. It didn't want to come. Why is it? Oh, I guess it's because it's wet. Oh, well, I guess we get the whole scoop. Okay, that's fine. Make another little mound here. So far, we're on track with the 3 pans used, with one of them giving us an extra. So we have 2 extra right now. So if it is a little bit more blue than I would like, we're okay. So glycerin next. I'm adding about 6 drops this time. I don't know why. I think it's mostly because of the glitter I want to add it. This is getting really thick. Maybe I didn't add enough water. Do some scoopy scoops here. Okay, so that was about 4 scoops. Now we're going to go ahead and bring it in. Mix it together. This one's going to definitely need more fluid. It's very thick. It's getting there. I don't think it needs as much fluid as I think it does, but I'm going to add 1 more scoop just to be on the safe side. I'd rather it be a little runny than chunky. Now the blue glitter is showing up very nicely. I think combining the glitters with the color that matches it most is helping it a lot. The Christmas gold was hard to mix with because there isn't really one that has red, green, and gold in it. It may look really pretty with the gold yellow, which I think is what I did with it. I don't remember which color I used there. This looks like a nice fine consistency. Looks like it's all mixed in, so I can go straight to the molar here. Okay, so molar next. Put this spoon away because I don't need it right now. And just tiny little circles. Kind of grind up that glitter a little bit. So that way it's a nice fine, so when we paint with it, it doesn't have any problems or chunks or anything like that. Trying to get it so it's not just pushing around the glitter on the outside of it, but actually grinding on top of it. Okay, that should be good. Yeah, this one's very glittery because I'm not able to get the paint off on this molar nearly as easily, which means it's nice and chunky. Now we're going to start scooping it back into the middle. Now, I don't know why I write the custom and what the color mixture is, other than the fact that while I still have the glitter and the mica powder, I can remember which ones it is, but as I buy or run out and have to buy new ones, then it'll start disappearing because of the fact that not every glitter is going to come with the same name, and not every mica powder is going to come with the same name. And unless I can get the exact type from the exact same company, it'll be different. Which, I mean, I could try, but most of these are non-names that I just got because they were cheaper. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, this blue is very chunky. It's leaving behind a lot of the glitter. Okay. This one looks like a 3-fer as well. So I'm going to prep 3 of them. I'm just going to call this blue. G blue. Two. On the plus side, I do have these streams, which if I save off, I can remember what colors I did. But I haven't been making a lot of these streams lately, where I make the color itself and then post it. I've just kind of been doing that off stream. This will be the driest. I do need to work on that. Like, I'll literally come up here and make paint and be like, I could stream this, but then why would I stream this? No one will be interested. But in reality, I'm sure many of you are interested. I'm just being selfish, apparently, and gatekeeping. I may not have needed 3 pans. See that hair? We'll see. I might have a little bit in the last pan. Like a very small amount. I'm nervous because I wanna use the 3rd pan that I just made. I'm running out of blue. That's about full. Yeah, this pan's gonna be very smallly filled. Make sure it touches every corner in here. Oh, maybe I can get a decent fill. Alright, it's not a full pan, but it's enough. So, yeah, there we go. Okay. And guess what everyone's favorite time it is? I get to get up and wash. Two more colors and then we'll be done for the day. Oh. Gonna make more color. So I'm running out of things to say. I do apologize about this. It has been a long few weeks since I last streamed. It's just been exhausting, and it seems like everything that could go wrong went wrong. My back is also starting to kill me. I don't know what it is about this pink chair. I just can't sit all the way back in it. Which my husband lifted my desk, so I can get my knees under the desk more, so I don't have to lean forward, but I still struggle. Oh, hello, Black Kitty. How are you today? Getting a little faster at cleaning it, at least. Ugh. I think part of it is because I have so much crap underneath it that I can't get my knees all the way under. Okay, there. I'm leaning back now. So let's go with green next. So I'm still trying to sit forward. I'm so done with just fighting these. I'm just going to stab it. Can't believe almost every glitter I opened today, I have had to fight. Okay, so we're going to go with the 3 scoops again, because that made 3 of them. Make our little mound in the middle. Push it around. Okay, there's that. Now for the green, we went with the brighter grass green instead of the darker moss green. So hopefully this will not be a mistake. You don't need a lot of mica powder in comparison to the glitter, because too much mica powder, the glitter just disappears. 4, 5, 6, okay. And then we'll do about 4 scoops of gum arabic. And we'll see if it needs more in a minute. All right, so let's go straight into mixing. We want all that gum arabic to be soaked up by the particles, both the mica powder and the glitter. Which is staying on the chunky side, so we may have to add more gum arabic again. Like I said, something about the gum arabic that I made means you need more of it. But actually, this is starting to liquefy, so maybe I don't. Actually, that liquefied quite nicely. So 4 scoop, so 3 glitter, 1 almost like 3/4 scoop of mica powder, and 4 scoops of gum arabic seem to be the magic ratio for at least today. Everyone knows that every ratio will change every time you go to do it. Okay, so yeah, that's ready for mulling. Tap that off with as much color as I can. Then mull it. Then we'll fill the pans with it. Probably should have somewhere I write down what the ratio is for everything. I don't have a book like that. Okay. Oh, I missed a corner up here. So that is nice and clean here. Lots of glitter left over on my molar again. But that is to be expected. And I definitely want to wash between the green and the purple because I don't, and I repeat, I do not want a muddy color. I don't need a brown. I have got brown, thank you. Well, I don't have a brown glitter. I have a brown with coffee in it. It's not quite glitter, but, you know. Which technically, I do have the 1 extra. Or 2 extra that I could make a brown glitter in. I think I had the 1 space. Scooping all that green back into the middle so I can get an estimation of how many half pans I need. Really hard to get these angles here. Okay. Grab some more smoothie. Oh, there goes my coaster. The coaster keeps sticking to my smoothie. Keep drying it off, but it keeps getting re-wet. Ugh. Okay. I'm going to guesstimate 3 on that. So I'm going to go ahead and prep 3. I'm just going to put G green again. Because again, even though I can remake the colors now, I can't in the future. And I want these to still be useful. Yeah, I just put green there. Whatever. Careful of that dripping. Want to get as much of this green as we can into one pan. Got to be careful not to overflow the pan as well. You can dome it, but you don't want it to be too messy here. Still do a little more here. Scrape some of this off. Make sure I have as much of this green as possible. Did not mean to do it on that corner. I should have enough here to fill the pan. Get that into the corners. I am considering, and I haven't said this to my watercolor class yet, I am considering making a special watercolor for each class and giving away a free watercolor pan, like half pan, with each person that comes in. That way they have a watercolor they can take home and play with. All right. Last wash, and then we'll be done with the purple, or be done with the color making, unless I decide to make a brown color. Depends on how many half pans I have left, really. Because I don't want to waste all my paint if I make too much of it. Got to almost clean the spoons. That would have been problematic. I know you guys may not have noticed, but I did add a new redeem. So if you watch 10,000 points worth, which means it could, I don't know exactly how many hours, because it can vary between if you are subscribed or not. But if you watch 10,000 points worth of content, I will do a free custom art piece for you that will then get scanned and sent to you digitally. I am considering doing a physical redeem, but I haven't decided how many points for that yet, and I want to see how much this digital redeem does, or how well it does. So if you are interested in getting custom work done by Rosie, feel free to redeem that, and I'll give you your own custom artwork of anything you desire. Except for not safe for work. Okay, anything safe for work that you desire. I cannot guarantee the quality if it's something I don't normally do art-wise. All right. We are almost done. We are almost done. Yeah, that red doesn't have a lot of glitter, but these other glitter ones are doing okay. The silver, you can't see the glitter very well. The blue and the green you can. The gold you can. The red just... I needed to do the inverse of what I did. 100%. And you guys are going to notice as I put these away that my glitter packages has one missing. That would be because I used my silver for it for the fairy wings and my fairies in a bottle stuff. So there is no silver other than the iron gray. Look, another one I get just stab. This mica powder was originally gotten to use in the resin printer that we have. It's like a 3D printer, but with resin. Well, it is a 3D printer, just uses resin. Anyway, I never got around to really making the concoctions with the resin there because it was awkward to me. It didn't make a lot of sense. So I stole the resin for paint making. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Just because I feel like this purple, I'm gonna do one more. I feel like this purple is going to lose this nice, pretty, bright shine when it touches that mica powder. That mica powder is going to darken this quite a bit. Okay. I think that's good enough. Then we're going to take a little bit of the purple. This is just violet. No magic or anything to it, just regular violet. Which I don't want too much of. There we go. The spoon is getting a little wet and not drying properly, so that's part of why I'm having the issue with the mica powder not coming off the spoon. So as we saw, it was... I did more glitter this time, so we're probably going to need more gum Arabic. Which, if you look at this, I did 2 scoops and I'm already pretty low in it. So, yeah, this is why you do a lot of gum Arabic when you mix it. If you can get exact and do it exact every time, good for you. You can do that. I'm not good at it, so I like to make extra. Do a half more because of that extra glitter. And now we just scoop. Just do the back and forth again till it's nice and creamy. Gotta mix in all that glitter with that gum Arabic. And as you can see, like I said, that magic purple is darkening that nice shiny glitter that was nice and bright purple real quickly. I can still see the bright glitter, which is really nice. I'm glad I can see that bright glitter. It's just the overall feel of the color is very dark. It looks like I did do the right ratio of gum Arabic to product because that is nice and fluid. I might add half a scoop more of glitter just because, like I said, it did. No, there's plenty of glitter. I don't need to add more glitter. Alright, so now we're gonna mull it. Go mull it, mull it, mull it. Not like the hair. Alright, get those air bubbles out, get the chunks out. Want it to be nice and fine. Which I think it is doing pretty good here. Yeah, that looks good. So now we're just going to scrape off that glitter again, which again is very evident on the bottom of my molar, which means it's going to be hopefully very evident in the paint. Now you could have fun with the glitter and say like, I wanted to do an orange, but I have no orange, which is reality. I could do a blue in the orange, which will kind of modify it and make an interesting, unique color that's kind of like a muddy gray blue with some glitter in it. So the color mixes that you do on your palettes, you can do while paint making. So if, like as you guys saw with the silver, if you don't have a silver or a gray, you mix your white and your black together. Well, you can do that in mica powder or glitter or whatever you need to do to make the color you need. So that those rules of color theory still exist while making paint. So we've got most of the color up here, put into the middle. It looks like about 3 again. So I do have 2 left over extra. Again, I don't know if I'm going to make the brown. G-perp, because I can't fit purple all the way. I'm really bad at writing things in small print with a giant frickin' Sharpie. And I am still working on my coffee one. I know I've been telling you guys I'm trying to make a coffee paint that smells like coffee. I'm still working on that. I don't think I'm anywhere near successful yet. I do not have the experience needed despite being able to make all these paints. Oh, I just dripped on my finger. I knew that was going to happen at some point today. That is just my luck. Yeah, this purple has a nice sparkle to it in the pan. On this big blob, it's not as nice, but it is very nice in the pan. But yes, even though I am mixing the glitter with the correct color, that does not mean that you have to mix the glitter with the right color when you go to make your pans. I may actually have to make a 4th pan of this purple. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a 4th, like, half pan. So we have 1 extra pan, which is not enough to justify risking a extra paint for making a glitter brown. I will have to get more half pans before I make any more paint, which they aren't too bad price-wise. But I have plenty of paint right now that I can go through. I'm having fun actually making the paint, which is part of why I decided to do it today. I'm having fun kind of experimenting and seeing what I can do with the paints and see what I can accomplish. Right, there is 4 G purples. Got it all over my hand. I'm going to go ahead and do a swatch test, and then I will end stream, and then I will clean this all up. Because of the fact that I am not going to continue streaming after this. I appreciate you guys coming here for the hour and a half that I streamed. But like I said, I do have things I need to do and like plan and like all this other crap. So I am going to end the stream here as soon as we finish the swatches. So I'm going to put my mica powder away. I'll put some of this away so that way you guys have a little extra time. That there, I gotta wait for it to clean that spoon. Clean up this. Put this away in the fridge. I have 1 tiny half pan, which I'll put into its little baggie. So I am doing a little bit of cleanup, I guess. And this should have air dried perfectly. So that can go back into that mixing. This also can go into the mixing. And let's go ahead and swatch. So this is my little swatch sheet. I'm going to slide this off to the side. This is my little swatch sheet that I test normal painting on. I just realized I have no water. Can't swatch without water. Oops, stompy stomp. Okay, that should be plenty of water. So with round tips, sometimes they start to fray like you see this one and my other blue one up here doing. It just means that they're not as pointy. All you have to do to fix that is just dip it in the water, then kind of squish it with your fingers, and that will help it get back to its tip. So we're going to start with the red. Just going to dip a little bit in this red, which is already starting to dry. And we're just going to spread it down here, maybe get it a little wet. So like I said, it's starting to dry. And look at that beautiful red. It's got glitter in it. It's got that mica powder shine. Yeah, the glitter isn't super sticking. I'm still working on that with the glitter. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And then let's go with this yellow. We're gonna wet it a little bit. Oh, that yellow is very glittery. Oh, and that's painting very nicely. That yellow came out really good. So yeah, the red, I messed up. I did the mica powder before the glitter. I've learned my lesson. Now we're going with this straight silver without any glitter, which is creating a nice dark iron gray. It's not quite bright silver like you'd expect, but it's a nice kind of dark silver, like a shadow silver. Like where you see the shadows in the silver type silver. But it's nice and shiny, so we will take it. Now we're going to go with the silver with glitter. And they are like I said, they all are starting to dry, so I am struggling to pick some up right now. Now this one doesn't look much different than the one above it, so I may not have added enough glitter on it. But the more I dip, the more glitter I'm getting. So it is kind of pulling it in. You wet it a little bit. Yeah, that's looking good. You can see the glitter in it a touch. There's just not super evident. All right, so now let's go with the blue, which had a nice pretty shine to it. Dip it in the water so that way it has a little bit more flow. Oh, that one's pretty. That one's got some nice glitter effects to it as well. It's actually flowing nicely in the watercolor and spreading out. That is really, really pretty. Next is the green. And for the most part, I've learned even if you swatch it immediately after making it and then dry it and then swatch it again, it's pretty much the same. I'm gonna dip that in the water. It's pretty much the same. These pigments tend to hold really well, even though they have dried out. I think that has to do partially with that glycerin, where it holds that pigmentation. Okay, so the green is not as pretty as the blue. It's kind of weak on the glitter. It's really pretty and glittery in the pan, but on the paper it's not as glittery. Maybe if it dries, we'll see if it does a little bit better, because this yellow drying, oh, it is so pretty. The red, like I said, I can see that where glitter tried, but it's so sparse on glitter that it's hard to get into. The silver's pretty, the silver itself, and then the silver with the glitter, I can see the glitter specks. Like I said, let's wait for it to dry. And then purple, get quite a bit, wet it, and then just kind of, oh yeah, the purple, you can see the glitter very nicely as well. And much like the blue, it is spreading out as you paint, so it's not all in one section. Okay. So I may post a picture later of what these look like dry. The silver is drying nicely, and you are able to see more of that glitter in it as it dries. The blue, the green, and the purple are still really wet. I guess I could do this, actually. Force dry it. I know it's super loud, I'm sorry. Gotta be careful not to burn or bubble the paper, unfortunately. Yeah, silver is turning out really pretty. Still waiting on the green because I'm seeing a lot of shine here. Waiting for it to dry. The green is doing better as it dries. It is a little bit more shiny. The purple did really, really good. I like how it's drying. You can see the chunks in the glitter. Oh yeah, that green is bubbling. You can see the chunks in the glitter, which is really, really nice. Yeah, there it is, all dry. Let me hold it up here for you guys. So you can see the red is not as glittery as the others. Again, that boils down to my way of making it. But the gold, the silver with the glitter, the blue with the glitter, the green with the glitter, and the purple with the glitter all turned out really, really nice. And the silver on its own, while it's not a bright silver, it also turned out really nice. So I am excited for what we have done here today. I have to let these paints dry before I can use them and add them to my palette. So thank you all for joining me today. I really, really, really appreciate it. It was a ton of fun. Where the hell's my phone? It's over here. I will do my best to stream Wednesday. I don't know how busy I'm going to be. It's been absolutely insane, I swear to God. So I'll see how well I do availability-wise. But other than that, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I will see you guys next time.